Section E, internal control, asset type 1. Okay, there are 4 questions. Small Parts is a manufacturer of metal washers, screws, and other parts required in the manufacture of various handmade crafts and novelty items. The firm has the ability to custom make virtually any small part, provided the client is able to provide small parts with the dimensions and tolerance required of the product. For example, we need certain metal carvings of this shape. So the client will provide us the dimensions, the length, width, thickness, and accordingly, and will provide us the tolerance limit that the length shouldn't be more than or less than 10 mm, width shouldn't be more or less than 0.1 mm. So he should give us the dimensions. Based upon the dimensions and the specifications, we can make any part that is required. Because of its niche in the market, specific part of the market you are serving, Small Parts has over 1,000 clients, unique customers with unique requirements. Unfortunately, many of its small business clients eventually merge or cease operations. One of the company's biggest challenges is the return of shipped products. We ship goods to the customer, goods are returned. Why? Let us see. Usually this is because the small business client has ceased operations and goods we produce specifically for them are returned. While most of the product is custom made as per the needs of the customer, Small Parts has found that much of it can be sold to other clients for adapted use through modification. The company's accountant is reviewing the company's internal control and financial accounting procedures, in particular with respect to inventory. He has found some issues. Currently, Small Part has one salesperson responsible for marketing returned products. This salesperson has exclusive and total control over the returned products. Now, this is a questionable situation. A salesperson should have no control on the physical custody of the product. He has exclusive and total control over the returned product, including arranging of sales terms. He is the one who arranges billing. He is the one who collects. Imagine he has some goods with him. He has total control. He sells it for $X or $Y, and he is the one who collects. How can you give this much authority to a single person? This is not right. The salesperson receives the returned product, attempts to find a client who may be able to adapt the product for the client use. The inventory of returned product is not entered in the accounting records. MashaAllah. Everything is in favor of a massive fraud. Salesperson has exclusive control of recording, collection, billing terms, and there is no record keeping. So there is basically no record keeping at all. Under the logic that the cost is sunk, why there is no record keeping? Because they believe that's a sunk cost. The cost has already been spent and is not likely to be recovered. It's a sunk cost. It is not a sunk cost. Those items can be sold after certain changes, certain adaptations. Revenue generated from its sale is classified as other revenue on the Small Parts income statement. So what we find here is a big flaw in the system of internal control. A single person has access to authorization, access to physical custody, and there is no record keeping, there is no reconciliation. So I find this quite offensive that a single person has so many conflicting responsibilities. Now the first question, identify and describe the 3 objectives of a system of internal control. There are many definitions given in your textbook of internal control. One is given by the Institute of Management Accountants. Other one is given by the COSO model. Another one is given by the Institute of Internal Auditors. You can write any one you want. Like in the definition given by the Institute of Management Accountant is that the system of internal control is the system affected by the management that does 4 things. Let me write, and you can write any one, not necessarily that you need to go by a specific one. So the definition given by the Institute of Management Accountant, it covers 4 things. Number one, record keeping is reliable. Access to physical facilities are authorized by management. Business is conducted in such a way that it results in orderly and efficient operations. Around these, this is the definition given by them. Under the COSO model, lines are similar. The COSO gives us a simple way to memorize called ERC. Everything really counts. Under the COSO model, a system of internal control is a system that gives a reasonable assurance regarding efficient and effective operation, reliability of financial reporting, and compliance with the laws and regulations. So somewhat similar to the definition given by the Institute of Management Accountant, reliability of financial reporting, work is performed as per the management specific and general authorization, efficient and effective operations, and reliability of financial reporting. So we have COSO definition as well. E means efficient and effective operation, reliability of financial reporting, and compliance with the applicable laws and regulations. So what is internal control? These are the three objectives of system of internal control given specifically under COSO, and you can memorize through ERC. A system designed by the management that provides reasonable assurance, mind the word reasonable assurance, regarding the achievement of objectives involving efficient and effective operation, reliability of financial reporting, and compliance with the applicable laws and regulations. Just you need to define this. And here we go. A system that provides reasonable assurance regarding achievement of objective involving efficient and effective operations, reliability of financial reporting, and compliance with the laws and regulations. So the easier way to remember is simply remember the mnemonic ERC. Everything really counts. Next, identify and explain 3 ways that the procedure for handling return products violates the internal control system of segregation of duties. What we have just noticed that this single person has access to the physical assets, the items that are returned from the customers. He has the authorization to sell these items to X or Y. These are the 2 issues, authorization and custody. No single person should have the access to the assets and authorized how to use those assets. These 2 are conflicting responsibilities, must be given to 2 separate individuals. Not only this, he is the one who is authorizing returns, he is the one who is receiving returns, he is the one who has the physical custody, he is the one who is discussing it with the customers, he is the one who concludes sales, he is the one who is shipping, he is the one who is billing, he is the one who is collecting. This could be terrible if the number of such items are large in quantity, so you are putting so much money at risk. That's your answer should cover all these points, that single person is having multiple responsibilities which are in conflict with each other, and this could be a problem. So remember, there must be 4 different segregations with relate to 4 different types of work: custody, authorization, record keeping, and reconciliation. You can memorize this with the word CAR, just like the definition of internal control can be memorized with the word ESR. Everything really counts, ERC. You can memorize the segregation function through CARR. C stands for custody, A stands for authority or authorization, R for record keeping, and R then last for reconciliation. These must be segregated. Custody, let's say, must be given to a person X. Authorization for that particular asset must be given to a person B. Record keeping must be given to a person M. And reconciliation must be given to a person who is totally unrelated to these 3, must be given to a person Q. So segregation is essential in these 4 dimensions: custody, authorization, record keeping, and reconciliation related to a particular item must be separate. Like for example, in this case, custody of those returned items must be with the warehouse control. Authorization to sell or not to sell must be with some senior management executive who authorizes the purchase orders. Record keeping must be with the accounting department, which isn't the case. And finally, reconciliation must be done by a person who is totally unconnected with XB&M. So your answer should be around these lines, and I'm sure you can do it. Next, identify 4 functional responsibilities within an organization that should be separated, and explain why these responsibilities should be separate. I think I've just explained it to you. These are the 4 ones. So first I discussed what is wrong with this company, and we discussed that the single person is receiving, authorizing, discussing with the customers, concluding sales, shipping, billing, collecting. What else? That is what you will write in this answer. This is the next part basically. That custody, authorization, record keeping and reconciliation must be given to 4 different individuals, right? Identify 4 functional responsibilities. CAR, you will never forget it now. Within an organization that should be separated, and explain why these responsibilities should be separated. The reason is the person who has custody, if he has access to record keeping, he can play. A person who has access to authorization and record keeping, he might misplace an asset, use it for himself and remove it from recording. Right? So custody, authorization, record keeping and reconciliation, they must be segregated. Otherwise a single person, in this case a person here, the salesperson, he has access to custody and authorization, he can do anything he wants. And there's no way to catch him. There's no check and balance. So around these lines you should just give your C. Authorization, record keeping, custody and periodic reconciliation. These are the 4 dimensions must be separated. Identify and describe 3 ways that small parts can provide for better internal control over its inventory and return products. What we have identified that a single person is doing so many incompatible tasks which he shouldn't be doing. We need to bring in other staff. We need to segregate the custody function. We need to segregate the record keeping and authorization. His job only to find customer. He's a salesperson. His job is only to find the customers for the product. Other staff should post credit to the customers according to the policies. Other staff members should be able to have record keeping, and someone else is allowed to authorize the sale to a customer X, Y or Z. We need segregation in these 3 areas. What we find weakness in this question. So that's all. These are the lines on which you can write. Separate responsibilities and duties. While the salesman may be assigned to work with the customers, but his job is just to find the customer. Rest of the work must be assigned to different individuals. So that completes your asset type number 1.